Hi guys, it is month 12. Yes, it's been a year, yay, since I started my DIY micro locks. I know I'm not looking very glamorous at all, but I am getting ready to do my retie. And so I just wanted to come and show you. It just felt wrong to not come on the actual day of my lock anniversary when I first installed my set of micro locks with completely bald sides, and now to show you where I've progressed to. And as I said, I have them sectioned into my grid, and I didn't want to take them out and then have to find it again to do my retie. And so I just wanted to come and show you real quick on the actual anniversary, and I'll probably come back in a day or two to get into the details of my hair. Now, as you can see, I'm starting with completely shaved sides, so I've only had to interlock the middle part of my hair. This was my very first installation. Spoiler alert, I am gonna redo these a lot smaller. This is how I looked after my very first installation. At this point, I've taken out the locks I previously had and I've redone them a half or probably a third of the size I had before. Not completely finished, but I am a good way to completing this new size of lock. This is me when the new size of locks have been completely done, and this is where I start my lock anniversary from. At month 1, you can see that my shaved sides are starting to grow out. You can see my little curlies coming in. You can see at month 2 that some hair at the sides are too long to curl and too short to interlock, so it's looking a bit untidy. At this point, the locks are slipping out less, yay, and the sides are growing even more. You can also see that the locks themselves are thicker than when they were first installed, so we can see changes taking place. This section at the back I have to finger twirl because it never stays in. At this point I could see significant changes in my hair, and the sides took concerted effort to keep me from looking crazy. My hair was actually starting to look like locks instead of twists, and you can see budding starting to take place along the strands of the hair. Y'all, the struggle was real at this point, trying to incorporate the sides that had grown out into the existing older locks. Go back and watch that video for the details. This was after I had finally finished completing the new baby locks from my grown out sides. Month 6 is where we went through that phase with the new locks that we went through with the older ones. That means a lot of them were slipping out and had to be redone. I think at this point I was asking myself whether it was worth it, but then when you look at the changes on the older ones, I knew what I had to look forward to. The older locks were budding and thickening up like crazy. At month 7, I lightened my locks to this ginger blonde color. By month 8, I didn't have to worry about any of the older locks slipping out, and less of the ones at the sides were slipping out, so I was starting to enjoy this particular phase of the journey. At 9 months, we had the sides of my hair adding more volume to my locks. And while they weren't slipping completely out, the ends were starting to unravel a bit and the roots were starting to slip down. At this point, because the roots were slipping, I found that I was having a lot of tangling at the base of the locks towards the back of the sides. To prevent this, I had to make sure I didn't go more than 4 weeks without interlocking. At this point, y'all cannot tell me that I do not have locks, okay? I have no idea what happened to month 11 footage, but we're back to my 1-year update. So I finished my retie, and before I made myself look like a person, I wanted to come on and show you exactly what my grid looks like. It's not the cleanest grid, but considering that I had no hair at the sides and I had to incorporate the regrowth, new locks into an old and existing grid from just here, and then I had no 3-way mirror to support, I think I did a good job and I am proud of myself. Anywho, so this is my grid. So if I wanted to part it down the middle, I have the middle part. If I wanted to use the sides, I could do that. And all along these sections are straight parts going back. So I can pretty much part it any way that I choose. So that's my grid, that's what I'm working with. And it was self-installed. So I believe if I were to do this for someone else, it would be that much cleaner, or if someone did it for me, it would be that much cleaner. But like I said, all DIY. So you can see the journey from day 1 to a year has been significant. There's been significant change from where I started to where I am now. So let me talk about where my hair is at 1 year in my microlock journey, and then I will give myself a spin so that you can see how my locks are looking at this point in time. So as you've seen, the middle portion of my hair, which is the oldest set of locks, where I started from the very beginning, they are pretty much locked. There are sections at the front that are still in the locking process, like most likely directly to the front, where some of the ends are still kind of loose-ish. But these are few and far between. Most of them, the ends are quite locked. The strands itself are pretty much their locks, right? So the ends, there's no taking these out. I don't see these. To get these out is going to be a challenge if you wanted them out, which I don't. So the ends are locked for the oldest set of locks. For the ones at the sides, they are starting to lock, You can see bunching starting to occur along the strands. So you can see it gathering the zigzag kind of these things happening along the strands. You can see that starting to take place on the freshest set of locks, but the ends are still very loose. And to be fair, the last time I interlocked, I kind of loosed out some of the twisted areas and then retwisted them. So because I've been messing with the ends, the ends itself with these have not locked, but it's locking along the strand itself. So I'm not fighting to keep them open, but if they do, they do. Whatever they want to do at this point in time. In terms of length, these ones have not started to really shrink up. As I discussed, these ones at the top have shrunk up quite a bit considering the length that I started with, and it pretty much looks the same as where I started when I first locked, but I've had significant growth, as you can tell, even in terms of when I did color my hair and the amount of growth that has taken place, you can tell, but the sides are pretty much as long as the top. That's because shrinkage, this hasn't shrunk up as yet. In terms of the interlocking, it's taking a little less time to interlock because I don't have as much slippage. Definitely these at the top do not slip at all. The sides still end up slipping a bit, but not as much, so the amount of time it takes to interlock gets less and less. But I do have to interlock 4 weeks like clockwork to make sure it doesn't keep slipping. I'm hoping that as the sides become more set, as they get older, that I will be able to stretch the interlocking time to about 4 weeks. I'm hoping. So we'll see how that goes. Maintenance, very, very low to no maintenance. And like I said, I don't do much with my hair. I don't do anything other than what you see here, which is I usually have them loose and I would just tuck the sides behind my ear and I'm good to go. So, I mean, in terms of between month 11 and month 12, there's no dramatic change that has taken place. And so let me just jump right into showing you what my hair is looking at year 1. This is the side that has always been thin, and we're watching the progress to see if it thickens up. And that is my hair at 12 months / a year of my DIY micro lock journey. And I'm quite happy with the progress, with the development. I know that my locks still has its phases to go through in terms of maturity, in terms of development. So who knows what it will end up looking like over time, but this is where I am at year 1. So if you have any questions about my locks, about maintenance specifically, any questions whatsoever, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Also let me know, guys, if you still want a month by month. If you hear barking, it's my dog and I can't seem to get him to stop. And guys, please let me know if you still want me to do a month by month update now that I've gotten to a year, or do you want it to be like per quarter, every 2 months? Let me know what you think, so that I can, you know, give you guys what you want. So that's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be blessed, and I will see you in the next one.